Mitchell Beazley, a 2-year-old London publishing and book packaging house, was trying to break out of its niche producing atlases and wine guides when a prominent British biologist approached them with something new and daring. A detailed, explicitly illustrated sex manual geared for mainstream audiences. The authors, who chose to remain anonymous, were a couple who lived somewhere in the Mediterranean. One of them is a practicing physician, the biologist said. He had merely edited their manuscript. This being 1971 and the height of the sexual revolution, the publishers were intrigued. Unlike the usual run of such books, poorly written, full of misinformation, bearing a distinct aura of sleaze, this one was erudite and urbane, yet informal and often witty. It was organized, entertainingly, as a cookbook, a cordon bleu guide to lovemaking. For perhaps the first time, here was a sex manual that a respectable but adventurous couple needn't feel embarrassed to consult. Something a mainstream publisher might actually have a chance peddling to respectable bookshops. The biologist who brought the manuscript to Mitchell Beazley soon revealed himself to be the author. Alex Comfort, an accomplished 51-year-old Cambridge-educated poet, novelist, political thinker, and broadcaster, and, as a scientist, a leader in the study of human aging. And this was not his first book on sex. He had been writing and advocating for greater sexual freedom, better and more frank sex education, and an end to the legal persecution of sexual minorities for more than 2 decades. Comfort had also lived much of what he wrote about in his book. Almost a dozen years earlier, he had experienced a midlife sexual reawakening when he commenced an affair with a family friend. They turned her London flat into the scene of a long course in sexual experiment, complete with Polaroid photographs, a detailed notebook, and extensive delving into love-making texts from ancient India and Japan and Renaissance Italy. Distressed by the raft of dubious sex primers hitting the market in the late 60s, especially David Rubin's Everything You Always Wanted to Know About Sex, but Were Afraid to Ask, which he dismissed as eccentric porn, Comfort decided to write his own. He seemed the unlikeliest person to produce such a book. Middle-aged, scholarly, and physically unprepossessing, he was missing 4 fingers of his left hand, lost in a childhood experiment with explosives. Yet Alex Comfort was a captivating talker with an encyclopedic mind, a polymath who had already carved out a position in print and on radio and TV as one of the most stimulating public intellectuals and controversialists in post-war Britain.